Ladies and gentlemen, there are two significant dates as of 2022 political game is concerned. That is this Friday. One date is this Friday, the other date is next month. The framers of the 2010 Constitution really breathed some life in the office of Deputy President. Unlike the initial regimes, where the vice president was just a principal assistant to the president and was actually appointed by the president, we saw a difference in 2013 where the president and deputy president ran on the same ticket and they are elected. That changed the politics of this country. But then, I want us to look at something here very critical. The fate of William Samoei Ruto in relevance to these two dates I am mentioning to you. Today's Nation at page 4 and 5 is capturing a very interesting story, and I was going through that story this morning. Why is he still in office? This is their headline. Then in part of the description they're saying, the deputy president has gone rogue. He is the leader of government business when the president is not available, but scarcely has he led any government agenda lately. He is the number 2 in the pecking orders in the country's leadership, but today he fights his own government from across an imaginary fence, ridiculing its credentials and scorecards and generally making a mockery of the last 5 years of the administration he serves. So why does William Ruto continue drawing a salary? What are the moral, logical explanations of his stay in office? Let me give you first the privileges of this office. According to the 2010 Constitution, Deputy President is a member of the cabinet and is supposed to sit on the cabinet. I think the only honest cabinet member, resign, who can tell us the truth is Charles Keter. When last did William Ruto attend the cabinet? The other second role is a member of the National Security Council, but that is chaired by the president. I want to believe he has not been attending these meetings because when things are not going well in his rallies, instead of going to this committee and air his views, he opts to write the letters to the government agencies. The third is Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council. That one is the council that coordinates and other oversees the disbursement of funds in the county units. Actually, it's the interlink between the county governments and the national government. Last year, I think we saw William Ruto holding one of those meetings. But when he fell out with President Uhuru Kenyatta, some of the cabinet members that were leaning towards Uhuru actually absconded these meetings. And this has been seen. In the first term, it was more of a coalition government between the two of them, a joint government. But the second term, things fell apart. That is where William Ruto is coming from. Up to date, I think the conversation has been centered on what exactly happened. If William Ruto doesn't know, and Uhuru Kenyatta maybe knows and doesn't want to make it public, do you really know? But Charles Keter opens more thought to it by saying that, look here, this gentleman would have divorced even without the handshake. While William Ruto have actually pegged his argument of the handshake that he fell out with Uhuru because of the handshake. Let me spare you all that because all that is in public domain. I want us to look at the two meetings that I started with. On Friday the 25th February, Jubilee Party is going to hold NDC, and in that NDC, They are going to adopt a report that was made in resolution that was made in Jubilee Management Committee last year in October, when the committee met and ratified that they were going to kick out William Ruto as deputy party leader. And I can remember the chairman, the leader of the joint Jubilee coalition parliamentary group, Adan Kenan, coming out to say that it was time for them to run rogue on rogue members of the party. The first culprits of that for that meeting were Mwaura and Millicent Omanga, but the court came out and actually also saved them. So that is supposed to happen this Friday. I want to believe that Tuju can ridiculously even invite William Ruto in that NDC. On 26th next month, there is also going to be all the leaders, all the members of parliament, and these are the leaders that are seeking elective seats, are going to cross over from their parties to other parties if they want to vie with UDA or any other party. If you want to vie in UDA, you should be in UDA by 26th March. If you want to vie in ODM, you should be in ODM by 26th March. So between now and 26th March, we are going to see that transfer. It's going to be a transfer window. Let me ask a question. Today, if Jubilee Party removes William Ruto as deputy party leader, is there a law? Is there something in law that says that if you cease to be the deputy party leader, he must cease to be the deputy president? And I saw an argument here that it is a lacuna. And I think if you look at that article, it is in page 4 and 5. It was done. I think one, Josephat Nanok, was saying that there is no law that says that if William Ruto ceases to be deputy party leader of Jubilee Party, which is the ruling party, then he will also cease to be the deputy president. So guys, let's face it. What next after these two incidences? What are the options that William Ruto have? And what do you expect? In my own opinion, I have 4 points to expound on this. But before we look at that, if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, kindly take a second and subscribe. And also I want to say thank you. We are at 8,000 subscribers and we are moving. This is a motivation to other people. Some YouTubers have been getting to me asking me, Kevin, how was it? How has it been? I think I will just take this time to say that consistency is the game and content is the queen. That's it. William Ruto might opt to resign from government.
How will that, what will be the implication of him resigning? One, I can tell you once, that if William Ruto resigns from this government, then he must go away. I think he will actually psychologically, in the minds of his supporters, the competitors can say that he has actually left government that sponsored him. So it will be like he has resigned and he's no longer interested. Why should he be elected president when he was elected deputy president and he has relinquished his roles after campaigning? After all, it will not be seen as a move that he genuinely wants to, he has actually left because of frustration. The narrative that he's frustrated will be eroded, and rather it will be replaced that deputy president left office intentionally to campaign for his 2022 presidential race. That will be one of the understandings if he actually walks away. Two, if William Ruto resigns, take this to Bank in alone, his Harambee House office is going to be a crime scene.
Because the school of thought that Arod and Kimoren Dam scandal was actually, everything was coordinated from his office. That office is going to be a crime scene. And not to dig deep and know who stole the money or who killed the Kenei. But it will be to unleash some of what the competitors might actually look as dirty ills that happened in that office. Then they will be scooped out, they will be portrayed in media, and it will be used against him. He'll be going to campaign, but when he's out of government, the narrative will be, you were in government, you did this. You were in government, this happened. You were in government. So he's going to face a lot of negativity in the office of deputy president. I can tell you. And that will actually show, that is going to discredit his push for presidency, because it will unleash his failures as a deputy president. I'm very sure that when he leaves that office today, tomorrow, they'll even start auditing how he was using the funds and when last he was seen in that office. I want to believe that if there is a recording book there, then his name might be there once in a week or twice in a month. They will unleash when last he went to that office, what he's not been doing, and that will be used against him in his campaigns. Thirdly, William Ruto, if he walks out of government, he will try to scuttle the budget-making process. Passage of budget. I can tell you, the next hurdle that President Uhuru Kenyatta have is the budget, the passing of budget. I remember some time, I think in this second time, it took the personal intervention of Uhuru to summon these MPs, so that they could actually explain. He could whip them so that they pass the budget. Then if William Ruto walks away, he will walk away with some opposition. It will be opposition to the government in itself. And of course, now they're still in government and they have now started pushing their own agendas. Remember the budget cuts that they are proposing in the light of, so that they can fashion it to the hustler nation narrative. You understand? So William Ruto might scuttle the budget making process if he is actually given the luxury of resigning from that government. That will be it. I'm also thinking of this, that if he resigns today, I know things have been said, if he resigns, and when it comes to the transition, you never know what can happen after the general election. And of course, there is supposed to be smooth transition. But when there is some, let me call it like some controversy, or some delay, technical delay that is still there, occasioned by the outcome of the results, between general election of August 8th, maybe to a rerun, Uhuru will be in government alone. Uhuru will not be the deputy president. And by the way, someone should tell us, if William Ruto resigns, does the law say that Uhuru should pick a running mate, a vice president? Someone should tell us that. In that case, that he will not be part of the transition, it will be very difficult for him to make key decisions. And no one is going to listen to him. I'm also thinking this. There are people and media that is giving William Ruto coverage, not on his political, also not majorly on his political moves, but as a deputy president. And there are leaders who are around William Ruto because they're deputy presidents. Someone need to confirm to us whether there was this story that Aisha Jumwa, security was withdrawn, and even Oscar Sudis. Then William Ruto made local arrangement and Ali gave them part of his security details. So these people are clinging in him as a deputy president. So when he relinquishes that office, then these people are also going to suffer. So people who have been benefiting around William Ruto because he's a deputy president, these people are not going to be with him. Even media coverage might go down. So how about if he doesn't? If he doesn't resign, which is the likelihood, but for me, if you ask me, William Ruto will resign. At some time, he will resign. It's time for personal introspecting, and this will ultimately come. And I think after they've kicked William Ruto as deputy party leader in Jubilee, the next day or the next week, a Kenyan citizen will go to court and start challenging his eligibility. When he is actually defending himself in the courts, then the public opinion against him is also going to go down. Because like now, instead of going to defend yourself in court, why don't you just leave the government? That is one of the things That is one of the catch that is there. Three, another objective, these people want to frustrate him. They know that he's so temperamental and he's going to react. He's just now going to throw now words and now also open another public debacle. So guys, I don't know what you think. In your opinion, do you think William Ruto will leave the government? Me, if you ask me, he's doing personal introspecting, and at the opportune time, he will kiss and say goodbye. Thank you. We are coming back with something very critical from Meru. William Ruto has been in Meru for the last 3 days. Something is very interesting. Also, guys, tell us about this NDC by Muturi. What do you think? What is he up to? He has said he's not forming a coalition with any other party. He's not joining Azimio, he's not joining Muda. What do you think about him, guys? And thank you very much for your support.